locked in flow, locked in flow. Current takes the silver line, locked in flow. Everything settles into place. Bare feet touch the glassy shallows where the channel starts to bend. Smooth stones resting underwater, like a path without an end. A ribbon of current gathers softly at the edge of the bank, carrying bright reflections past the reeds in a steady rank. Clear surface drawing circles where the smallest ripples meet, pebbles shifting underneath with a quiet rolling beat. The first step finds the streamway, and the streamway finds the pace as the river turns around me with a clean and weightless grace. A narrow run of silver threads around the rounded stone. Foam lines gather softly where the shallow markers show. The bank slips farther backward as the surface widens out, and the current keeps a rhythm I can follow without doubt. One clear line beneath the surface, one smooth pull through the blue. Locked in flow, locked in flow. Current takes the silver line. Locked in flow, locked in flow. Everything settles into place. Through the bend, through the glow, gliding where the waters go. Locked in flow, locked in flow. Everything settles into place. Polished stone and river glass drift below in quiet lanes. Tiny ripples cross the surface like bright marks without a name. A reed stem leans beside the water, tracing marks along the side, while the channel opens wider with an easy turning glide. Sandbars shimmer far below where the depth begins to show. Clear threads weave around each pebble in a pattern soft and slow. The stream carries color forward through a liquid silver gate, and the whole world fits the rhythm of a clean continuous state. The surface keeps its balance as the current gathers range. Small rings touch and separate with translucent lane. Silver undertow beneath the skin. Cool blue pathways drawing inward. Long clear channels opening wide, carried further through the tide. Smooth granite markers disappear below the liquid frame, while drifting patches of river bloom rearrange their shape. A hanging rope beside the dock sways lightly in the wash, sending curved reflections through the slowly shifting gloss. Fine layers of quartz settle near the darker riverbed, and floating strips of cedar bark turn softly overhead. The broad estuary stretches past the visible divide, holding steady patterns where the branching waters glide. No friction on the turning line, no edges left behind. Shallow bends connect beneath suspended sheets of rain. Soft translucent foam collecting near the braided grain. A narrow floodgate opens toward a glowing tidal shelf, where polished fragments circle slowly by themselves. The river mouth expands beyond the outer stone, tracing pale geometry through channels overgrown. Currents crossing silently beneath the silver blue, carrying wider shapes into a deeper point of view. Cool water, wide channel, clear motion, low tide glow. Pale drift markers gather near the reed-wrapped shore, while distant fairy lights dissolve across the lower floor. Smooth arcs of pressure slide beneath the mirrored crest, guiding loose reflections toward the calmer west. A chain of stepping islands fades below the rolling glass, and faint translucent ribbons bend where hidden outlets pass. Everything keeps flowing with the clean connected pace, as the widening stream removes the borders from the space. Silver undertow beneath the skin. Cool blue pathways drawing inward. Long clear channels opening wide, carried further through the tide. Glass like water turning slow. Outer banks no longer show. Deep translucent pathways run far beyond the silver glow. Da 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 da. Clear signal through the blue, deep focus pulling through. Tall water columns shimmer underneath suspended crystal rails, while narrow vortex patterns gather near the polished metal scales. A chain of lantern spheres rotates beside the hollow reef, casting moving bands of turquoise through the flowing coral leaf. And ribbons of mercury color fold around the spiral lane, and clusters of prism fragments drift beneath the tinted rain. Arched aqueducts above the stream reflect in fractured beams, turning every passing surface into layered liquid screens. Lines connect without resistance, shapes align across the stream. Deep focus, sharp reflections through the tide. Deep focus, luminous currents running wide through the prism-colored glow, past the lucid undertow. Deep focus, everything defined in blue. Circular tide gauges hover near the edge of polished stone, while transparent cables stretch beneath the water dome. Small magnetic compasses spin beside the outer seam, guiding narrow tracer ripples through the phosphor green. Smooth obsidian markers rest below the mirrored floor, and pale electric patterns drift beyond the hidden shore. The channel bends in perfect arcs around the glowing frame, holding every moving detail in a clear connected plane. Floating panels without a change of shape. Below the still surface, deep water carries pattern light. Long sheets of clear water fold across the basalt floor, revealing scattered marble fragments near the lower corridor. Soft mineral textures drift beneath transparent layers of blue, while narrow terraces descending carefully ordered view. Thin curtains of algae sway beside the submerged stair, and hollow stone alcoves gather pockets of filtered air. A quiet reservoir expands beyond the outer seam, holding muted echoes inside the dim aquatic green. Polished river tiles arrange along the deeper gray. Small currents trace the contours that the darker layers made. A floating glass cylinder turns beside the shaded wall, sending pale geometric shapes across the cavern hall. White underwater arches frame the distant pressure gate, while tiny droplets collect around the restless metal grate. Smooth ceramic pillars disappear below the jade, and folded bands of mica settle where the shadows fade. A silent water elevator lowers through the central shaft, past suspended chains of prism light and translucent aftermath. The basin stretches downward with a slow connected pace, keeping every moving detail in a calm, unbroken space. Clear depth, quiet turning patterns, low drifting motion. Fine strands of copper filament rest along the canyon floor, while dim reflective currents circle near the hidden door. Small translucent markers glow beneath the cooling stream, and polished granite ridges hold the narrow floating beam. A hollow observation dome stands underneath the tide, watching layered ribbons gather where the deep growths divide. Everything keeps balancing without a sudden change, as the broad aquatic structure widens through its range. No sharp edges in the waterline, only gradual shifts beneath the glass. Deep structures continuing underneath, steady passage through the silent blue. Still water over marble stone, clear pathways softly flowing on. Lower chambers fade from sight, carried by the quiet drive. Glass curtains gathering speed, luminous edges cutting clean. Every contour lacking tight through the fast electric blue, 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 blue. Sharp and clear lines accelerate beneath the surface. Sharp and clear, right directions coming into focus through the rushing cobalt lanes, past the glowing pressure waves. Sharp and clear, everything refined in motion. Long translucent spillways descend beside titanium rails, while rotating signal discs flash beneath the streaming trails. Fine particles of fluorite scatter through the narrow bend, and polished graphite markers trace the route without an end. Arched flood tunnels widen near the outer current wall, sending mirrored streaks of color through the rapid waterfall. Smooth hydraulic pillars rise below the flowing seam, holding layers of movement inside the vivid blue-green. Thin magnetic ribbons spiral near the sharpened turn, while glowing tracer droplets follow every pivot learned. Small reflective turbines circle underneath the gray, drawing fluid geometric pathways through the shifting jade. Fast alignment, clean expansion, bright velocity, pure connection. Wide transparent conduits stretch beyond the lifted tide, while narrow cobalt grids connect along the inner side. A row of luminous gauges flickers near the pressure ring, casting patterns Scatter fragments drifting outside the undertow. Rapid water tracing arcs beneath the mirrored steel. Every turning structure sharpening into something real. Bright refracted pathways crossing through the deeper zone. While glowing liquid vectors form a pattern of their own. All the moving sections joining in a tightened frame as the current gains precision without changing pace. Sharp and clear lines accelerate beneath the surface. Sharp and clear, right directions coming into focus through the rushing cobalt lanes, past the glowing pressure waves. Sharp and clear, everything refined in motion. Focus lines across the blue. Every passage turning brighter. Fast blue pathways carry on beyond the narrowing glow. One precise current extending further through the flow. The rolling water circles underneath the terraced floor. Soft vibration patterns drifting near the rounded shore. Thin elastic waveforms travel through the open basin line, holding balanced motion in a measured steady time. Broad suspension channels stretch beneath the layered dome, while muted amber markers guide the deeper pathways home. Small calibrated rotors spin beside the quiet grade, sending slow concentric ripples through the filtered jade. Smooth sandstone platforms rest below the softened stream, and woven bands of nickel thread reflect a faded gleam. A stable undertide continues through the central seam, keeping every shifting section moving clean between slow pulse, white water, soft turning, clear pattern. Pale observation lenses hover near the lower rail, while folded current maps expand across the liquid trail. Small ceramic pendulums sway beneath the shallow crest, tracking silent variations through the broad aquatic mesh. Curved enamel structures line the edge of deeper blue, and hollow fiber rings rotate beside the narrow flume. Everything maintains a calm, connected pace, with no abrupt divergence breaking from the structure. Measured lines beneath the waves, balanced motion holding shape. Steady pulse flowing through the open lattice. Steady pulse, nothing drifting out of rhythm across the tempered blue, past the layered avenues. Steady pulse, keeping every face connected. Slow hydraulic patterns passing underneath the glass, soften pressure movements widening as they pass. Deep structural currents circling through the silent span, every pathway stabilizing into one connected plan. No abrupt acceleration in the undertow, only smooth continuation through the cobalt flow. White blue water carries on, measure signals moving slow. Every balanced line extends through the steady pulse below. Long tidal pathways curve beside the weathered copper rails, while floating navigation discs rotate across the trails. Thin sheets of vapor drift above the tempered river skin, and narrow beacon markers guide the balanced current in. Small braided waterways connect beneath suspended stone, where polished anchor wheels turn softly on their own. The broad directional stream continues past the outer grade, holding steady orientation through the layered aqua shade. No sudden shift across drifting from the view. White translucent causeways stretch beside the drifting seam, while hollow pressure chambers pulse beneath the cooling green. Small rotating signal arms sweep across the lower span, casting curved reflections through the slow hydraulic fan. Smooth cobalt stairway disappear below the mirrored reach, and folded mineral ribbons settle near the distant breach. The guiding route extends without resistance through the blue, keeping every moving section centered into view. Fine ceramic indicators glow beside the outer wall, while pale directional currents trace the depth beneath the hull. Arch suspension gates remain completely synchronized, with no uneven pressure drifting from the central line. Everything continues in a calm, connected phase, without abrupt divergence breaking from the pace. Wide water, clear direction, soft alignment, steady extension. Oh, revolving under tides, moving through the deeper frame, carrying mapped formations through the slowly turning plane. Every balanced structure holding to the central thread, while muted aqua pulses travel outward through the bed. No unstable motion underneath the flowing blue, only measured continuation passing through. Measure water lanes unfolding, balance halfway staying true. Past the tempered overflow, guided through the lucid blue. Steady undertones below, carrying the motion through. Every turning route extending without drifting from the view. Contour markers glowing softly across the widening under tide. Calm directional currents flowing toward the broad connected rise. The current keeps its orientation beyond the outer shoreline bend. Balanced pathway stretching onward without breaking from the bend. Bright velocity through the tide, charged currents amplified. Inside the rapid cobalt stream, every contour running clean through the high translucent lanes. Pressure lines accelerate, glass-like pathways flashing wide. Layered signals synchronized, nothing scattered from the course, all directions flowing forward. Tall hydro towers rise beside the glowing intake rails, while luminous vector panels pulse across the streaming trails. The magnetic water rings revolve beneath the mirrored grade, and folded aurora currents sweep across the shifting jade. Wide suspension runnels branch beyond the outer seam, sending concentrated tracer light through the fast electric green. Smooth titanium conduits open toward the central vein, where narrow liquid turbines spin inside the pressure chain. Pale rotating index markers glide across the zone below. Soft water drifting through the haze, layered contours slowing down, wide translucent undertides carrying the motion softly. Long pale water fields extend beneath the softened quartz terrain, while distant floating beacon grids dissolve into the rain. Thin curtains of vapor settle over rounded tidal stone, and scattered pearl fragments drift through channels overgrown. Small reflective harbors rest beside the muted green, where folded ribbons of opal light blur across the scene. The broad aquatic pathways widen without urgency, holding every passing structure in calm fluidity. Smooth river terraces descend beneath the silver gray, while translucent eddies turn along the outer bay. Small suspended drift spheres rotate beneath the shallow seam, drawing soft and circular patterns through the fading gleam. Quiet water, soft horizon, low reflection, slow extension. Wide submerged promenades curve beneath the cooling tide, while pale enamel arches form along the deeper side. Small navigation beacons flicker through the distant mist, casting muted aqua traces through the broad abyss. Smooth ceramic embankments disappear below the stream, and layered folds of satin algae drift beneath the green. Everything keeps widening with a slower measured pace, while soft and flowing structures settle into place. Low drifting undertones moving through the rounded blue, every quiet pathway opening into broader views. Soft refracted water lines passing underneath the haze, while distant glowing markers blur along the outer maze. No accelerated pressure underneath the rolling tide, only calm continuation through the open wide. Soft water drifting through the haze, layered contours slowing down, wide translucent undertides carrying the motion softly. Muted beacons through the blue, low expanding tidal rooms, every softened waterline bending toward the quiet flowing glow. Pale rivers carrying onward past the distant glowing shore, softened currents slowly widening into the calm surrounding floor. Locked in the current takes the silver line. Locked in the, everything settles into place. Bare feet touch the glassy shallows where the channel starts to bend, and stones resting underwater like a path without an end. A ribbon of current gathers softly at the edge of the bank, carrying bright reflections past the reeds in a steady rank. Clear surface drawing circles where the smallest ripples meet, pebbles shifting underneath with the quiet rolling beat. The first step finds the streamway, and the streamway finds the pace as the river turns around me with the clean and weightless grace. A narrow run of silver threads around the rounded stone, foam lines gather softly where the shallow markers show. The bank slips farther backward as the surface widens out, and the current keeps a rhythm I can follow stands beside a row of limestone edges. Clear runoff slipping quietly beneath suspended wooden bridges. Thin strands of moss trail downward from the overhanging frame, while scattered river pearls shimmer underneath the changing plane. Glass-like undertow folding through a narrow crescent bay, pulling loose fragments of mica through the pale blue-gray. Small clusters of watergrass bend beside the outer seam as the body starts to hover inside the rolling stream. Rounded shell along the border catches fragments of the sun. A weathered canoe drifts slowly where the branching currents run. Tiny rings spread outward from a softly turning vein, and the deeper road keeps widening past the translucent lane. Silver undertow beneath the skin, cool blue pathways drawing inward. Long clear channels opening wide, carried further through the tide. Smooth granite markers disappear below the liquid frame, while drifting patches of river bloom rearrange their shape. A hanging rope beside the dock sways lightly in the wash, sending curved reflections through the slowly shifting gloss. Fine layers of quartz settle near the darker riverbed, and floating strips of cedar bark turn softly overhead. The broad estuary stretches past the visible divide, holding steady patterns where the branching waters glide. No friction on the turning line, no edges left behind. Shallow bends connect beneath suspended sheets of rain, soft translucent foam collecting near the braided grain. A narrow floodgate opens toward a glowing tidal shelf, where polished fragments circle slowly by themselves. The river mouth expands beyond the outer stone, tracing pale geometry through channels overgrown. Currents crossing silently beneath the silver blue, carrying wider shapes into a deeper point of view. Cool water, wide channel, clear motion, low tide glow. Pale drift markers gather near the reed-wrapped shore, while distant fairy lights dissolve across the lower floor. Smooth arcs of pressure slide beneath the mirrored crest, guiding loose reflections toward the calmer west. A chain of stepping pylons fades below the rolling glass, and faint translucent ribbons bend where hidden outlets pass. Everything keeps flowing with the clean, connected pace, as the widening stream removes the borders from the space. Silver undertow beneath the skin, cool blue pathways drawing inward. Long clear channels opening wide, carried further through the tide. Glass-like water turning slow, outer banks no longer show. Deep translucent pathways run far beyond the silver glow. The blue, deep focus pulling through. Tall water columns shimmer underneath suspended crystal rails, while narrow vortex patterns gather near the polished metal scales. A chain of lantern spheres rotates beside the hollow reef, casting moving bands of turquoise through the flowing coral leaf. Thin ribbons of mercury color fold around the spiral lane, and clusters of prism fragments drift beneath beside the outer seam, guiding narrow tracer ripples through the phosphor green. Smooth obsidian markers rest below the mirrored floor, and pale electric patterns drift beyond the hidden shore. The channel bends in perfect darks around the glowing frame, holding every moving detail in a clear connected plane. Floating panels cross the river in a slow synchronized sweep, while pale pressure rings descend toward the deeper reach. A curved translucent barrier opens near the central vein, sending bands of liquid sapphire through the braided chain. Everything keeps narrowing into one precise direction, with no scattered motion left outside the main connection. Sharp and clear, bright lines appear. Sharp and clear, nothing disappears. Layer after layer of reflective water folds through geometric passages lined with chrome and gold. Clear pathways intersect beneath suspended glass, while luminous fragments rearrange as the currents pass. Deep structures turning slowly underneath the stream, like an endless sequence built from polished cobalt beams. Deep focus, sharp reflections through the tide. Deep focus, luminous currents running wide through the prism-colored glow, past the lucid undertow. Deep focus, everything defined in deep focus, tracing through the crystal hue. Deep focus, clearer every passage through. The prism lines continue beyond the mirrored frame. One current keeps extending without a change of shape. Below the still surface, deep water carries pattern light. Long sheets of clear water fold across the basalt floor, revealing scattered marble fragments near the lower corridor. Soft mineral textures drift beneath transparent layers of blue, while narrow terraces descend in carefully ordered view. Thin curtains of algae sway beside the submerged stair, and hollow stone alcoves gather pockets of filtered air. A quiet reservoir expands beyond the outer seam, holding muted echoes inside the dim aquatic green. Polished river tiles arrange along the deeper grade. Small currents trace the contours that the darker layers made. A floating glass cylinder turns beside the shaded wall, sending pale geometric shapes across the cavern hall. Wide underwater arches frame the distant pressure gate, while tiny droplets collect around the rustless metal grates. The ceramic pillars disappear below the jade, and folded bands of mica settle where the shadows fade. A silent water elevator lowers through the central shaft, past suspended chains of prism light and translucent aftermath. The basin stretches downward with a slow connected pace, keeping every moving detail in a calm, unbroken space. Clear depth, quiet turning patterns, low drifting motion. Fine strands of copper filament rest along the canyon floor, while dim reflective currents circle near the hidden door. Small translucent markers glow beneath the cooling stream, and polished granite ridges hold the narrow flowing beam. A hollow observation dome stands underneath the tide, watching layered ribbons gather where the deep roots divide. Everything keeps balancing without a sudden change, as the broad aquatic structure widens through its range. No sharp edges in the waterline, only gradual shifts beneath the glass. Deep structures continuing underneath, steady passage through the silent blue. Still water over marble stone, flowing fluid geometric pathways through the shifting jade. Fast alignment, clean expansion, bright velocity, pure connection. Wide transparent conduits stretch beyond the lifted tide, while narrow cobalt grids connect along the inner side. A row of luminous gauges flickers near the pressure ring, casting pattern waves of sapphire through the deepening stream. Smooth platinum barriers open toward the central lane, where folded sheets of aqua light descend like falling rain. The river system sharpens into focused lines of flow, with no scattered fragments drifting outside the undertow. Rapid water tracing arcs beneath the mirrored steel, every turning structure sharpening into something real. Bright refracted pathways crossing through the deeper zone, while glowing liquid vectors form a pattern of their own. All the moving sections joining in a tightened frame, as the current gains precision without changing pace. Sharp and clear lines accelerate beneath the surface. Sharp and clear, bright directions coming into focus through the rushing cobalt lanes, past the glowing pressure waves. Sharp and clear, everything refined in motion. Focused lines across the blue, every passage turning brighter. Fast blue pathways carry on, beyond the narrowing glow. One precise current extending further through the flow. Underneath the terraced floor, soft vibration patterns drifting near the rounded shore. Thin elastic waveforms travel through the open basin line, holding balanced motion in a measured steady time. Broad suspension channels stretch beneath the layered dome, while muted amber markers guide the deeper pathways home. Small calibrated rotors spin beside the quiet grade, sending slow concentric ripples through the filtered jade. Smooth sandstone platforms rest below the softened stream, and woven bands of nickel thread reflect a faded gleam. A stable undertie continues through the central seam, keeping every shifting section moving clean. Between slow pulse, wide water, soft turning, clear pattern. Pale observation lenses hover near the lower rail, while folded current maps expand across the liquid trail. Small ceramic pendulums sway beneath the shallow crest, tracking silent variations through the broad aquatic mesh. Curved enamel structures line the edge of deeper blue, and hollow fiber rings rotate beside the narrow flume. Everything maintains a calm connected pace, with no abrupt divergence breaking from the structure. Measured lines beneath the waves, balanced motion holding shape. Steady pulse glowing through the open lattice. Steady pulse, nothing drifting out of rhythm across the tempered blue, past the layered avenues. Steady pulse, keeping every phase connected. Slow hydraulic patterns passing underneath the glass, soften pressure movements widening as they pass. Deep structural currents circling through the silent span, every pathway stabilizing into one connected plan. No abrupt acceleration in the undertow, only smooth continuation through the cobalt flow. Wide blue water carries on, measured signals moving slow. Every balanced line extends through the steady pulse below. Long tidal pathways curve beside the weathered copper rails, while floating navigation discs rotate across the trails. Thin sheets of vapor drift above the tempered river skin, and narrow beacon markers guide the balanced current in. Small braided waterways connect beneath suspended stone, where polished anchor wheels turn softly on their own. The broad directional stream continues past the outer grade, holding steady orientation through the layered aqua shade. No sudden shift across the line, no scattered pull beneath the tide. Measured waterways unfolding, balanced pathways staying true, past the tempered overflow, guided through the lucid blue. Steady undertones below, carrying the motion through every turning route, extending without drifting from the view. Wide translucent causeways stretch beside the drifting seam, while hollow pressure chambers pulse beneath the cooling green. Small rotating signal arms sweep across the lower span, casting curved reflections through the slow hydraulic fan. Smooth cobalt stairways disappear below the mirrored reach, and folded mineral ribbons settle near the distant breach. The guiding route extends without resistance through the blue, keeping every moving section centered into view. Fine ceramic indicators glow beside the outer wall, while pale directional currents trace the depth beneath the hull. Arch suspension gates remain completely synchronized, with no uneven pressure drifting from the central line. Everything continues in a calm, connected phase, without abrupt divergence breaking from the pace. White water, clear direction, soft alignment, steady extension. Flow revolving under tides, moving through the deeper frame, carrying map formations through the slowly turning plane. Every balanced structure holding to the central thread, while muted aqua pulses travel outward through the bed. No unstable motion underneath the flowing blue, only measured continuation passing through. Measured water lanes unfolding, balanced pathways staying true, past the tempered overflow, guided through the lucid blue. Steady undertones below, carrying the motion through every turning route, extending without drifting from the view. Contour markers glowing softly across the widening undertide, calm directional currents flowing toward the broad connected rise. The current keeps its orientation beyond the outer shoreline bend, balanced pathways stretching onward without breaking from the bend. Bright velocity through the tide, charged currents amplified inside the rapid cobalt stream. Every contour running clean through the high translucent lanes. Pressure lines accelerate, glass-like pathways flashing wide. Layer signals synchronized, nothing scattered from the course. All directions flowing forward. Tall hydro towers rise beside the glowing intake rails, while luminous vector panels pulse across the streaming trails. Thin magnetic water rings revolve beneath the mirrored grade, and folded aurora currents sweep across the shifting jade. Wide suspension runnels branch beyond the outer seam, sending concentrated tracer light through the fast electric green. Smooth titanium conduits open toward the central vein, where narrow liquid turbines spin inside the pressure chain. Pale rotating index markers glide across the upper flow, while curved acceleration channels brighten far below. Small refractive droplets gather near the lifted spillway line, drawing sharpened geometric pathways into clean design. Fast alignment, bright expansion, bright motion, clear transmission. Long translucent waveforms stretch beneath the elevated floor, while cobalt pressure gauges flicking near the lower shore. Thin directional cables sweep across the rocket stream, casting layer bands of aqua through the mirrored gleam. Arched hydraulic corridors widen through the deeper root, and polished graphite barriers stabilize the Russian blue. Everything keeps narrowing to one intensified lane, with no fragments in movement drifting from the chain. Rapid undertides folding underneath the glowing frame, every moving structure sharpening into clearer shape. Bright flowing vectors crossing through the widened zone, while concentrated pathways form a system of their own. Inside the rapid cobalt stream, every contour running clean through the high translucent lanes. Pressure lines accelerate, glass-like pathways flashing white, layer signals synchronized, nothing scattered from the course, all directions flowing forward. Charged currents drawing near, every structure sharply aligned. Wide electric water lines passing through connected tides. Bright hydraulic motion carries beyond the mirrored undertow. Every rapid pathway winding further through the zone below. Soft water drifting through the haze, layered contours slowing down, wide translucent undertides carrying the motion softly. Long pale water fields extend beneath the softened coarse terrain, while distant floating beacon grids dissolve into the rain. Thin curtains of vapor settle over rounded tidal stone, and scatter pearl fragments drift through channels overgrown. Small reflective harbors rest beside the muted green, where folded ribbons of opal light blur across the scene. The broad aquatic pathways widen without urgency, holding every passing structure in calm fluidity. Smooth river terraces descend beneath the silver gray, while low translucent eddies turn along the outer bay. Small suspended drip spheres rotate beneath the shallow seam, drawing soft and circular patterns through the fading gleam. Quiet water, soft horizon, low reflections, slow extension. Wide submerged promenades curve beneath the cooling tide, while pale enamel arches form along the deeper side. Small navigation beacons flicker through the distant mist, casting muted aqua traces to the broad abyss. Smooth ceramic embankments disappear below the stream, and layered folds of satin algae drift beneath the green. Everything keeps widening with a slow or measured pace, while soft and flowing structures settle into place. Low drifting undertones moving through the rounded blue, every quiet pathway opening into broader views. Soft refracted water lines passing underneath the haze, while distant glowing markers blur along the outer maze. No accelerated pressure underneath the rolling tide, only calm continuation through the open wide. Soft water drifting through the haze, layered contours slowing down, wide translucent undertides carrying the motion softly. Muted beacons through the blue, low expanding tidal rooms, every softened water line bending toward the quiet flowing bloom. White pale rivers carrying onward past the distant glowing shore, softened currents slowly widening into the calm surrounding fog.